I treat these type of videos that I make every day or try to make every day as a blog for really a journal for myself and anyone who's taking this journey and is learning as an entrepreneur, who's learning maybe as another business person, who may be in their job and maybe they're working with people. Maybe they are wanting to start a side hustle but don't know the realities of what it takes. And so with what I'm doing here, hopefully it's helpful for someone out there. Maybe not now, but maybe later on, before AI takes over everything and maybe certain career paths just don't make sense anymore. That's my goal with this. And so this topic, sometimes topics may not be as 100% relevant all the time with what I push out there, but I hope it helps for a select few. And that's my goal here. And so today's topic actually comes from when I was reading the book. I'm reading the book of The Making of a Manager. And very interesting book. I think a good way to kind of put it is the CEO of Slack said, "The Making of a Manager is an excellent, approachable, and comprehensive guide for those making the transition into management. This is something we would give out to new managers at Slack, and it could be very well set a new standard." So this is for anyone who's stepping into a new manager role, and it kind of outlines, okay, like when does it make sense? How does it make sense to kind of structure your team? When how you should have one-on-ones, how you should do meetings, what are kind of like usually the pitfalls and how to avoid them, and what you can take away from that. And so for me, I'm like, I need this. I need this especially now because I'm in a role, and I feel like a lot of people are going to resonate with this, where I'm stepping to that leadership slash management, which management has like a negative connotation to it. And I want to be clear on the definition right here. When I say management, I just mean straight up the neutral term of someone trying to lead their team to maximize their goals and what they're trying to achieve. It doesn't mean like we're just increasing the bottom line and I don't care about these people. It doesn't also mean the other side of it where I only care about the people and I'm not caring about the end goal here. This is kind of um, a combination of just like mixing them both. So I just want to be clear in that definition first. So when we first get that understood, um, the big thing I'm running into, and maybe someone might resonate with this later on, is I'm in a role where I'm an individual contributor, which for those who don't know what that is, it's specifically talking about the idea of, okay, let's just say I'm a creative, I'm an artist, like I make videos or whatever, like I'm editor for the team, and this team has elevated to the point where now I got a couple editors and I'm kind of leading them, but with the couple editors there's also a huge amount of elevated work that has came with this and scaling up with just tons of different stuff, getting more organization on that. We're running new projects and just a lot of stuff going on. And now everything's like stacking up. And granted, we do have a full-time editor actually that I brought on, but he has quickly scaled into more of a production manager and taken in a lot of the stuff that needs to get fixed, and because of that, there's still a lot of stuff that needs to be edited. And I am stepping more into the marketing lead of strategizing everything that needs to be coordinated on that end. And because of that, I'm finding myself in like 2 to 3 different roles. And this is very problematic. And I'm just now starting to realize how difficult it is to juggle all this. And it's not something that I think is sustainable, especially when I am asking for certain stuff and I get the certain stuff and then I had to edit, but then I had to do other stuff. And then that footage that I edited and I had someone create, it's not getting pushed out because of me. I just feel horrible. That means I'm not doing my job to the way I need to. And by definition, maybe my other people in my group would say, "No, you're doing an amazing job. I think you're doing great." Um, I would say otherwise. I feel like I'm failing. And this is where it comes even to when you are leading, and you get in this position where you feel like you have your foot in like just being a manager, but your foot in like kind of not as much, not just being also having to like edit stuff, having to do stuff, like actually contribute a lot more. It gets difficult because now you feel like you're getting pulled from like both ways here. And that's what the spot I am in. And I'm curious to know if anyone else is in that spot. I'm curious to know if anyone else is in that spot or been in that spot and has any advice. Because for me, I'm to the point where I think I'm gonna have to talk to my talk to the boss here, or talk to the kind of owner of the agency, and specifically tell him, hey, look, this is everything where I'm at. This is what I'm trying to do. Um, Here's kind of like the status on it, and I'm falling behind us on like X, Y, and Z. And I feel like it's not sustainable for me to try to do all this. And he's going to say, it's right. It's not. It's not your job. But it is what it used to be. And I know there's gaps in it that needs to be filled for me in order to achieve my job. And so I need to have a conversation with him, but also I think a bigger part is having a conversation with my editors and my team. And that's something that, even though I'm like growing into a leader, and this is something you'll learn as well if you're just like getting into this process, is that you're gonna start to probably need to have these conversations of like, okay, having one-on-ones, and not just say, okay, what's the status on this, what's the status on that. You can have that for email, you can have that for messages, but the purpose of the one-on-ones typically are more for, okay, hey, I'm curious to know where you're at, where are your roadblocks, um, are you currently happy with what kind you're doing, where do you see yourself kind of going, and like where's like kind of future career where you want to go here, where are you kind of doing well, where's like feedback overall that I think you should know. And so that's the purpose of the one-on-ones, and I don't feel like we have any of that structure in our company. And that's where someone was like, we'll have an HR person. I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to do company whole wide, I'm trying to just do in my kind of silo of a team. And my boss, he mentioned, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna like, we're gonna get you, it's gonna be a learning curve. You're gonna learn with this like greatly. And he's like, we're gonna have probably a lot of conversations about management, and we haven't had any of that. And I feel like at times I'm not getting support. I'm starting to realize that I probably need here, and that's, I mean, it's a two-way street. And so that's where I need to have a conversation with him, and I need to have a conversation with my editing team, because what is the kind of point of this? Why, like, I know I'm rambling here, but it's for a reason. The reason is I'm starting to realize, and there's a statement in the Making of a Manager book here, um, that she mentions where she was in the same exact situation. She felt like she was trying to be, I think, a designer, like a web designer or whatever she was doing. She was trying to do that, but then, like, this specifically came back after I think she had a kid, and so she was talking about how she knew it was gonna be hard, but she didn't anticipate how hard it would have been actually in reality. And so for her, she was trying to juggle being a designer, but also trying to manage and lead the team. And her team could notice that she started kind of sinking on the water. And so for me, I'm feeling the same way. I'm feeling like I'm stuck in trying to be like the editor and trying to get stuff done, but also running the social medias and posting and editing the graphics, while also manage my team, but also trying to collaborate with other teams to make sure everything's good. When in reality, I feel like I'm just drowning here. And so she said, she's like, at some point you're gonna have to realize that this is not sustainable. And when you get to that point, you realize that you gonna have to pick one or the other. It's not like I'm gonna do my best, and it's like it's not like I just don't have enough willpower here, or like I'm just not good enough. Like I need support. That's actually ownership of saying, okay, here I need someone else to fill the spot, so I can start thinking about other stuff, so I can start expanding the role I need to be. And so she mentions it, and I even thought about it recently. When you're doing this, when you're juggling multiple roles, or you're doing many different tasks and wearing tons of different hats, it's going to probably get to the point where you're not excelling at either. When you're doing more than two things, if you're focusing on multiple roles, you're not going to be excellent at one. You're not going to be excellent at all of them. You're actually going to be like, it's like the jack of all trades, pretty much. What I'm trying to get at is that you could be good in like multiple different areas, but you're not really gonna get super good at like one area because you're just not like really going into it. And so that's where for me, I feel like I'm not excelling in like one area or another. Or like I'm slowly growing the manager, but it's probably not as fast as it needs to be. It's not where I need to be, all because I just don't have the right resources in place to really enable that. So for me, I first had to talk to my editors and see, okay, hey, this is where I'm at. I'm kind of at like a point where I feel like I am falling behind on this and a lot of stuff that needs to kind of get covered, especially on my end. And because of that, I need to ask you guys, I need to have these conversations with you guys to see where we're at. I just need to level out with you guys and be honest, like this is where I'm at. Does it make sense to add a resource? If so, I just need to see, okay, are you at capacity? Are you willing to, are we able to take up more on? Are we able to increase our efficiency here to get more output? Where does it make sense? And so that's for me where I'm kind of at, and this is what this video is about. Again, I don't know if it makes sense. I know it was a ramble, but again, I treat these kind of like my journals that just put out my ideas. So if it's useful, it's useful. If it's not, then I guess that's it. I'll see you in another video, and yeah, peace.